Good morning. You caught me trying to get onto Facebook for the Adath group, which I find to be a very interesting thing. You know that there are 600 million people on Facebook today? That is so astonishing a figure that I could hardly believe it myself. But you know, there's a purpose for Adath being on Facebook. We think that it would be wonderful to create an online community of our Adath community, of our Adath people. And we share program information and we kind of share our lives. Now, is there a connection between Facebook and the Shabbat Terumah, which is this week's Parsha? Well, I kind of think so. And maybe you will too. Listen to what it says from the Chumash, Eitz Chaim Chumash. It tells us that the Lord spoke to Moses saying, Daber el b'nei Yisrael, v'yikhu li terumah. Tell the Israelite people to bring me gifts. You shall accept gifts for me from every person whose heart so moves them. And then in verse 8, a little further on, it says, V'asu li mikdash v'shichanti b'tochem. And let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them. Now think about what's going on. God is creating a community. He's creating a social network. And that's what Facebook's all about. Now, Rabbi Pinchas Pelley, I was looking through one of his thoughts on it, and he had something to say that's kind of interesting too. It brings the request of gifts, brings the people closer in a sense of community where there's a give and take. They don't only take from God, but they must give as well. He said humans must start out on a path towards God, and then both in time and space, in order for God to meet them halfway and be partners in the act of sanctification. Now, could this have something to do with spirituality, or something to do with community, or maybe social networking? Goodness, who'd have thought? But Levi Yitzchak of Berditchev felt that spirituality required that a person sort of have a distance from the world and from people. And then he said to love one's neighbor as oneself, to share his or her pain and her sorrow and their joy, is to get so involved as to run the risk of losing one's spiritual center. Well, from all this, maybe we can conclude one thing, that God wanted to create a close-knit community, a connection between the divine and the human. Maybe it was a sense of community, a social network, partnership. And how do we do that in real life? We do it in three ways. We have sacred acts, which are mitzvot. We have sacred time, which is celebration of Shabbat and the festivals. And sacred space, the creation of the Mishkan in the wilderness and our synagogues of today, such as we have here at Adath. Now, could Facebook as a social network, could that have something to do with love one's neighbor as oneself? Maybe. Who knows? Join Adath's Facebook group and find out. Shabbat Shalom.